Hey people, got a damn good show. So I got to thinking, if I was Hermes, how would I spell Mother Earth in the ancient language? And so this is the symbol right here, the tet, the th, mother and earth. It's in both of them. Down here in the earth, and you can see it here, and it'll be in all of the tree of life, Sephiros. And so when they say, that the serpent was in the tree of life, that's what this letter represents, the letter for earth, and it means the earth is in the tree of life. This is the letter tet, represents the serpent. The tet was in the worldwide language, the serpent that twists around to gather. So I got to thinking, this is how I would spell it. I'd make it in one word. It would be M-T-H-R, mother, which they always say that means rain when you see it in the Bible. And then, there'd be a tack after this word, like can, make, mother. And then H-R-T-H, earth, my. And I noticed when I was searching this word, it always was coming up before this word they say is Egypt, which is the same as the third son of Ham. And it's the same as the Greek spelling of cries. And the M is on the end, it's a S. So it's an X, which they give a C-H-R-I-S. And so sometimes you see the Christo in the Hebrew, except the T-O will be in the word following. And it's the same word they say is the Christ, Christo in the Greek. But I found it come up several different ways. And this is the other one that it comes up. It still has the can before it. And now it's, my, M-Y, mother, he, earth, E-H-R-T-H-M, is. My mother, the earth is. And so I had to look this up and see what kind of definition they gave it. So it comes up often in dreams. And the dreams, they always have an interpreter. And so this word they give interpreter, is just PTR, pitter, PTR, PTR, and who PTR, who pitter, how pitter, to give pitter when, according to the interpretation, to give the pitter when. Here it is again, now it's pooter, P-U-T-R. And this is where your word computer come from, who could interpret it? Communications, to interpret it. The communications come through the wire, and then the computer does the interpretation and changes all those electromagnetic signals into a picture on your interface that you can read. They say it comes from the Latin puter, which means to think and to prune. To think about it and prune out the message. So this is that word, Mother Earth. And you can see it does come with a word with a tack in front of it, so it reads backwards and forwards. And they call it the magicians of Egypt and cries. So this is in Genesis. I don't try to fool anybody, but if I back through it, it doesn't always go back to where it's supposed to be here. So the wage in buffer, atop as roo-hoo, whistle who for talk lie Mother Earth, mimics rise, what locale they make check from ye whisper, parole is to 'em of column to vein, writ up water from twa of pro. And so the Pharaoh, it's pro, and the E is life, for life. Pro life is for life, of for life. The Pharaoh isn't elected every 4 years. He's there for life, of for life. The wage in buffer is in trying to put all the information together, to buffer, to store in a buffer while it's being processed. The wage in buffer atop as roo-hoo, to awaken who whistle, who for talk of, who whistle for talk. And so who whistles for talk, is the bosun on the ship whistles for talk. And also the birds. The birds whistle to talk. There's an African tribe, and they got a bird comes by every year and hollers at them. And they follow this bird off in the woods, and he leads them to the beehive. And they climb a tree and collect the honey, and then they share it with the bird. And so this wild bird just knows to do this. He knows to get a share of honey. And so the wage to buffer, to store the information while being processed, atop as ruhu, as waken who, whistle who for the talk, Talk, backwards to forwards, lie mother earth. And so mother is from collect first, and that's where this magicians come from. You walk the earth and collect all the roots and herbs, the mother earth, to divide root, R-T-H, earth, the earth, and then mimics, M-I-M-X, to mimics, rise, what, and then backwards forwards, locale. They make check from ye, from you. They make check, what place they make check from you, whisper, cipher, the secrets open first. Whose secrets open first, you whisper them. It's not hollered out, it's a secret, the whisper. The whisper parolees, to being paroled, to let out. The whisper let out. Tuum of column to vein. Tuum column to vein, is empty. And so this dream, comes from the helmet is usually what it is. But it's a different kind of column. You have one call from a KL call, but this is the divide of, the spirit world calling, to column, to vein, to empty, writ, a pooter, the right, the first mark, the first mark to pooter, to interpret. From toi, toi is three, from three of for life. So to parolees, to let out, tuum of UML, of, tuum of column to vein, writ to pooter. To the column to empty, writ to RTU, writ to pooter, to cipher, to interpret. This is the column with the empty writ, to cipher. It's the center column, and this is dot, and it's missing on most of these. It's the invisible one. It's the one you have to figure out. It's just dot, the knowledge. So I went to check out this word and see if they put them all in the same category. And that's what's in there, the HRTM. HRTM is what they have in common. Of L, HRTM. And you see it's always comes before this Egypt, from cries, and a word following similar, from cries. And so I clicked on this number to see what they had to say about it. And they say it's a magician more as an engraver or a writer, as in a chartum, as into mapping, chartum. Mapping is cartography, cartum. The cartography, cartograph make from the same as chart, an engraver, writer. And they say it's magicians 11 times. And so Brown, Driver, and Briggs say, engraver, writer, only in derived sense of one possessed of occult knowledge. A diviner, astrologer, magician, probably comes from chart plus the final M, charts. The fact that the word is always applied to Egyptian magicians, except in Daniel 2:2, suggests Egyptian origin, but no agreement among Egyptologists. And Harkavy proposes that XAR, char, to speak plus tum. They're saying char means speak plus tum, hidden, equals the teller of hidden things, Mother Earth. You know, when they asked the Indians down there in South America how did they know what plants to mix up to make the ayahuasca, they said the plants told us. The plants told us what to mix up. Yeah, it's an ancient knowledge. So on that subject, Crystal Blue had asked if I buy some mimosa online and fix it up like a cup of tea while I experience the DMT. And I'm thrilled that the question was asked, but I didn't want to put a like on her because it looks like a thumbs up, like a yes. But no, it doesn't work that way. And I explained it a little bit here. And then I went searching. You know, I had the movie on one of my playlists, and I went searching. I seen that movie was taken down, and it was taken down a lot of places. I knew where it was. And I found it again here on the Daily Motion. And then after I found that, I found it again. And it's down at the bottom called the DMT Workshop. And so it was taken down at the beginning of the COVID season because he says at the beginning that he uses this to cure respiratory infections. And so I imagine that's why they take it down, because it was illegal. He's in England where it was legal where he did this. And it's also in this long playlist. It's on the top of facts you need to know. So if they should take it down off of YouTube again, you go over to this biblical DMT tripping and check out her question. And on my replies, you can get this where it's at Daily Motion here. So here where it comes up 6 times in this spelling, the whammers, the cry of, whammer la, the cry of, and then my, mother, the earth, miss, vain, empty. So this is just lower of where I first found it in Genesis 41:8. You know, the talk, lie, mother, earth, mimics. And it's down here in 24. Let me start reading 23 to get this straightened out, because they keep talking about heads here, and this is totally talking about the foot. And so it's when Shiva Shabal is, it's numb what the foot side put, SDPUT, the foot side put. Code is, it's much what me gyro, me turn. And so when the Shiva Shabal is, a Shabal is, you know, these are both Sanskrit words, and Shabal is a variegated verse, a different kind of form, character. So it's numwhat through foot side put. It's numwhat is a fish, and it's talking about the Shiva Matsaya, the fish, the Shiva Messiah, the fish, the foot, Pisces. And so Shiva has many forms, and this is his form of the fish feet who walk on water, the fish foot Shiva, Shiva Messiah. And you can see that in the spelling, you know, it's the plant, the X, the seed, and the seed, the waters, and that's why the N is a seed or a fish. You know, the plant that seeds water is a fish. You know, the X, the side, but it was originally a plant. And then the N is the seed or the fish. And the M is the water. You know, the seed of the water is fish. And then the Vav, it's connected. Vav, connected. And then the T is seal. You know, it's connected seal was the fish, is what the letter N used to represent. It comes from the ancient Adam words. You know, it's num. You ask somebody who's eating something they really like, and hey, is that good? And that's all they're going to say, num. You know, it's what your baby's going to say before it knows how to talk. When it's eating something it likes, it says num. It's an Adam word. It was It's a word you're just born with, same as nay and we. We is good and nay is bad. And num is it tastes good. When Shiva Shabal is, it's numwhat through foot. The side put code is, it's much what me gyro. Me backwards, me gyro, me turn. So this first word for devour, they're seriously confused here. What Tavalon, and they're trying to see this as table, TBL, palatable, eatable, on the table, and they're looking at this as table on, but it's not. It's Tavalon, and you see above these words for devoured. Here's another one here. They had devoured. It's just BAU or VAU, vow, and then the next line up, what vain, VANE, what vain, and they had devoured. And so this, they had devoured, it's one of one. It's always used one time. It comes up 49 times, but it's like 44 different words. It's always used one time. Here 4, and then all 1, 3, 2, and 2. They have a different word every time, because this is all just pieces of words. They're confusing this. They're thinking table, TAB, but this is a V. And they're confusing it with the world. A tavel, TVL, is the world. What tavel every time. What tavel on. What tavel on, what the world's on. The world of action, the earth. What tavel on, what world on the Shabal is, the avatar is. Edifit, EDQT, EDFT, edifit, too. To edify is to help someone understand. Edification is designed to improve you, whether morally, education, or spiritually. And so edifit is the thing that's been fit, the improvement. What the world on the Shabal is, edifit, is the improvement to. Shiva, the Shabal is, the Shabal, the avatar, the face of the symbol. The Thuv, what? And so like those other words that end it with a UT, those means the connected seal of the Thuv. And so a Tet, is a serpent in, the collect in. And it's a Thuv this is called a Thuv. That's where they're getting this good from. The Thuv, what? The serpent in what? Cry, to whammer. El, God. Sometimes they'll make this word God. You can see here, it's a L with a tack. AL, they pronounce it EL. This word number 413. But sometimes they'll say the same word, AL, is God. Even 163 times they'll say this L is God. And so to whammer, that's a baby crying is a whammer. The whammer, God. My mother, Chi. Earth, my swain. From guide, lie. I pulled it off here in the other Bible and I flipped it around here where it's a mirrored image. But that's what it is. It says my mother. My mother, Chi. The earth, my swain. A final M is a S. The swain from guide lie. Who could explain it to me? To cry, God, my mother's Chi, earth, my swain from guide lie. And so swain is a young helper. Swain coming from servant. It's where your word boatswain come from. The swain, meaning young man, apprentice, the servant. So my Mother Earth, is at the feet, at the Pisces, and to guide, your path, your way, the guide lie. So let me go one more time with a couple of proper interpretations. When Shiva, the avatar of the fish, what through foot side put, the feed is, coming from the east. The code is, it's much what me turn, me gyro, me turn. The world on, and Tavalon, and world on the avatar, edifit, improve, the improvement. The world on the avatar, improvement to Shiva, the avatar, the good what, the thuv what, the good what cry. El, my mother, she earth, my swain, my helper, from guide lie, the lie. If you hit a golf ball, your lie is where the place it lands, the place it is, the lie. Sometimes you're down, you got to be picked up by the ditch. Sometimes you're on the green, and sometimes you're still back in the fairway, from guide lie, the place that you are. And I'm going to go on into this in Daniel 1 in the next movie. It'll explain more why they call it magicians. Alright, I'm going to cut this off here. Good day.